Doug felt relieved and happy that someone he knew was seeing Star, his counselor. She had helped him work through some big problems. And her favorite line had been that she loved him. He was happy to be putting the things he learned in his counseling sessions into action to make his city neighborhood better through activities he had talked over and planned that would help others. Now it's Bet's turn to see the counselor. She has seen her before. She has seen other counselors before. Been there, seen it. Today is different though. Today Bet is empowered to be honest as she talks to the counselor. Bet walks into Star's office and sits down with a demeanor of rhythm that is a little lower and more confident. She has a little bit of swagger to her body as it moves back and forth. In a sort of musical rhythm of swaying confidence, like a man that knows himself, and is a little humorous as he helps other people to learn what he's talking about. She has on a cap, her hair is up under her cap. And she says in a low, manly but melodic voice, "Why don't you do the work intensely like you do with Doug? Why don't you love me the way you love him? Why don't you help me more with creative activities and deep searching?" Star is astounded and it's hard for her to get her words out. PH, BH, PH. PH, her tongue is sluggish. She clears her throat, ahem. Ahem. And then she says, "Well, you're a woman and it's harder for me to work with women for many reasons." Bet growls in a low musical swaggering voice and pulls her hat down and up again. "How do you know that I am a woman?" Star sit back quickly. "Well, I guess usually your voice is high and usually you wear nice dresses and usually you are feminine." Bet says with great strength of feelings for herself. "Well, today I am a man. Will you treat me differently?" Star stumbles, "I don't know." Bet notices. "Well, you are not telling me what to do as much, you are stumbling more, and you are not looking me straight in the eye anymore. It's like you're not as controlling." Star? "I'm going to be honest with you. There really is a reason I'm not more tender with you. Years ago I decided to help women and men in my practice of counseling. I wanted to help people who really want to help themselves. I see such passion in loud, emphatic ways in Doug, and I love helping him to help so many people." Betty's deep voice drums into time, "Just because usually I'm not loud, and I'm feminine and quieter, and I have a harder time finding words, and I look at beautiful objects around the room doesn't mean that I don't have the same passion, and could help many people and deserve your respect and your listening and your feeling that I am competent." Star looks sheepish, she is embarrassed, she knows she's wrong as she sees Bet sitting there looking like a man. She is sad Bet had to look like a man just to tell her that her quiet feminine voice is important. She quietly and guiltily says, "Thanks, Bet." Bet says matter-of-factly, "I love you too, you know, women can love women in general ways of philosophical goodness." Star quietly says with a deepening voice, "I love that you are brave and courageous. I haven't been respecting you enough." Tears run down Bet's face like a poem called Dignity Returned. So many people think just because a woman is softer or more feminine or cares about people that she needs to speak up and always ask for things for herself and be more broad and yell more. But if you ask softly, people should still hear what you say. Bet continues. She takes off her hat. She stops the melodic lower swagger and says in a quiet musical feminine voice, "Star, I need you to respect me. I'm your client and I value your work. And I deserve good work too. And I can learn a whole lot about myself and come to some important discoveries, and I have already in some of my other self-exploration work. I want you to work really well with me using your schooling wisdom and put in the effort, like you would with a well-spoken or well-known man like Doug." Star whispers nicely, kindly and with a quivering voice, "I will do that, Bet. I'm sorry. I am going to take you more seriously and use wisdom and love as we work together. Sorry. As a token of my sorrow, I will give you this book to read about symbols and healing. You can keep it, and you could come up with a symbol for how you want to proceed." The tears continue to run down both of their faces, and through their tears they reach and grab meaningfully as they hold hands. A quiet moment of shared feeling. Star whispers stately, "I respect your wisdom and the loudness of your soft voice." Bet sniffs a little and her tears stop. "Will you do me a favor and say some nice things to this plant every day to encourage it and think of me and practice the way you can respect the softer and quieter people?" Star is empathetic. "I will promise to do that." Bet laughs lightly and musically. I feel heard. Bet starts to gather her things. She is happy that she was able to speak honestly. It was hard for her to do. As she starts to leave, she is surprised to hear Star talking to her. Star says, I love you, Bet. Bet stares at her with some coldness in her eyes. What is love? There is a cool silence that continues for miles. Star reflects, Bet, could you write me your thoughts on love, and I'll give you some things and show you some things around the city in return. Star pleads, I just say I love you. It feels right, but you know so much. Tell me about love. Bet says coldly, and gently and accusingly, and with great understanding. Love is more than a loving look and saying I love you so greatly and so big as a front, but a start at love, and you don't know what love is in a bigger sense to you. You say it so loudly and so gregariously, but you are searching for what love is. You are searching like the eyes of someone sending a big message of love and then pleading, asking with those same eyes as you gather in information to just somehow tell you what you so cryingly want to know. What is love? Bet says with a low gentle voice, I'll read you some of my writings about love. I'll bring them here and I'll talk and walk around your office like I'm on a stage, or I'm a professor, and share some things about love. Bet leaves her appointment breathing freely. She goes home with a dance in her steps and a heavy knowing of who she is. She walks in her own door feeling her own sense of herself, her place, her home in the midst of a city of things and words and facts and figures and talk of the weather like love thrown out of the mouth as if it was the answer to a math equation. She breathes freely because any math equation has countless other equations around it. And she has things that people are pleading to know about, to feel about, to get some sense of, but her words are gentle. Her words of loving flow like the water meanders around countless bends, seeing loving sights around each turn of the river. Bet starts to sing. She gathers her work through the next days as she reads and drinks tea and does the dishes and cleans the house. She is happy she has truly seen someone else's pleading eyes, so that they could ask for something. Asking for something out loud helps Bet feel the music in her soul. And she can decide to share some of it with her counselor and then to help her community.